Hockey season is here, baby.
Go Chiefs, go.
So nice watching games online this weekend.
Yeah, it was.
Kind of makes you forget how into it we get, even just watching it online too.
Yeah.
With
Well,
those,
we have a little bit more to possibly be excited about this year too than we have the last couple of years.
for sure, for sure. And
Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly, as shorthanded as we were this past weekend against Prince George, who also were very shorthanded. But I liked what I saw for the most part.
Yeah. What
I
stood
mean,
out to you the most? I'm curious.
I don't know. Well, I made a comment to you on Saturday that I really liked. Noticed how we were a lot of our passes were just all tape to tape and just a
Yeah.
complete 180 from how it had been the last few years.
Yep.
Um, I feel like there's kind of an emphasis on what the new coaching staff wanted. Maybe I mean, obviously, I'm speculating, but I think that was one of the major things that I noticed was the passing just tape to tape. There was no pass right into the skates and then kick it off and ice the puck or whatever, like
Right.
that was one thing that I really noticed, especially on Saturday. I think Friday I was just a little bit excited just to watch hockey, that I was like, it took me a little bit to like try to like focus on like every little thing. I was just so excited to
Mhm.
watch Chiefs again. And but I really noticed that on Saturday. I liked that the amount of times the younger guys would like kind of do that little pass like from behind the net in front of the net. And like there's always a guy there in the slot now too. And
Yeah.
so they're always looking for that. I'm sure that's something that they work on in practice and everything. And um I mean, just getting shots through from the point, that was a big thing too. I mean, a lot of them still kind of miss wide and stuff too, but the fact that they're shooting as much as they are
Right.
now is a huge,
I
huge
agree.
change.
Yeah. Biggest thing for me, both games was pushing the puck. It's like get up the ice quick and attack. It
Yeah.
was not. It was not sit back with it and pass it up. It was like skate it and go. And it's just like get to the other end.
Well,
That was
absolutely.
something I have not. I don't know if I've ever seen that much like go in a Chiefs team ever.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. And to add on to that, it's like we were it's like we were not standing and reaching. We were always consistently moving our feet,
Yes.
offensive zone, defensive zone, neutral zone, doesn't matter. I mean, I don't think I'd seen that much hustle out of a Chiefs team in a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
it just looked like they just, like you said, just go, go, go. Like they were just they did not stop moving their feet. They weren't reaching, like nothing that we were used to seeing from them.
And I also noticed, especially on Saturday's game too, the forwards back checking a lot, playing a 200-foot game.
Uh-huh.
The young guys, especially,
Man, how exciting are these young guys that came in?
man, there's some snapshots. There's some speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for fucking game one, Dane Pyatt and Cohen Harris both banging out their first career goals.
Yeah.
I mean, clutch. Dane Pyatt, nice little pick in the neutral zone and coming down and just sniping it through the arm of Ravensburg. And I thought that was a great
Yeah.
thing to see. I liked him. I was really bummed to see that he got injured later in the game, though.
Yeah.
Didn't have him for game two as we were already shorthanded, and then that just kind of added on to that. But Cohen Harris, his first goal, tie
Speed.
tie it up with 3 minutes left in the third period, and
Yeah.
got to feel good for him. Got to feel good for
It,
both of those
it's
guys.
not, it's nice for to see us get behind defensemen from the blue line in instead of feeling like other teams get behind our defensemen too. It's nice to see guys with speed that from the blue line to the net can get past guys.
Oh, it absolutely is. And the other thing that I really want to talk about that I was absolutely blown away by, especially in overtime in that first game, Mathis Preston's speed is
Yeah.
unbelievable. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, there was two rushes back to back on the same shift. And the second one ended up in the game-winning goal. But I mean, he takes the puck from behind the net and he just goes and he just
Yeah.
blows by everybody. And he's
Yep.
got such a wicked wrister too that a combination of the speed and his snapshot is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a
The
go ahead.
couple of shots he had in Saturday's game. Holy cow!
My God, yeah, no kidding. I mean,
They came off the stick fast.
it's going to be a nightmare for goalies. I
Yeah.
mean, that's not something that you want to face as a goalie.
No, he
Um,
he's got some definite power behind those
No, he's
shots.
got some zip on his shot too. I mean, yeah, we saw that in game two, and the lone goal the Chiefs scored in
Yeah,
on Saturday was just a r- quick rip from the left circle and beat Ravensburg and clean. So, and all most of our scoring came from 16-year-olds in
yes,
the games. I mean, it was 3 16-year-olds, and then Ekstrom scored the first goal of the season
yeah.
for us. And that was the other thing
He
too.
looks good too.
That was the other thing I wanted to bring up too. Like the 20-year-olds, especially that I mean, Ekstrom and Van Olm, I thought they were just all over it. Like
Yeah,
you could tell that they were kind of taking a little bit more of a leadership role this year, being veteran guys and stuff too. But
yeah,
then especially with your guys off at NHL camps too, kind of taking advantage of the fact that they're like kind of the top guys currently on the
yeah.
team. And I think that really showed on the first two games this weekend. I mean, I thought everybody played really well. I thought the goaltending was great. I thought Cooper Michaelick played great in the first game. He
He
made some
did.
huge saves. He kept us in it. And then man, Carter Essler on Saturday. I mean, we lost 3-1, but those goals were not his fault whatsoever.
No,
That dude kept it from being a 6-1 game because
big time.
he was unbelievable.
He was really, really good.
Especially in the first period, like I could think of 3 or 4 saves where it just looked like they were down and out. He stopped a 2-on-0, couple
Yeah.
2-on-1s. I mean, he looked absolutely dialed in and ready for the league.
Best 16-year-old goalie I've seen in the Chiefs uniform in a long time.
100%, 100%, and you can definitely see why those guys took him in the first round a couple of years
Yeah,
ago in the draft because I mean, with goalies, you never know how it's going to be with them. But if you're that confident enough to take a guy in the first round like that, he better be
yeah,
live up to expectations. And I mean, one game in so far, I'm definitely excited to see how
yeah.
he
Too.
grows too
Me too.
because he made some unbelievable saves and he looks so calm and collected
Yeah,
and it's just like I don't even have like anybody to like compare that to. It's just like it was completely different. Like, you have, for example, like I saw a couple different times where like a guy would come down the slot and just rip a shot, but it would go over the net. And you see most goalies kind of drop down and just kind of like flutter around a little bit. And he
hmm,
just stands there and just kind of like gives it like a little thing that he's gonna head it away and then just continues and gets back in his position. It's just like
yeah,
he just looks so calm, like he knows that he's gonna stop the puck.
yep,
And that's and confidence in any form, but when you're a goalie especially is huge
yeah.
because I mean that can make or break your game. So I really liked what I saw from the goaltending, and
Me too.
I really thought that for as shorthanded as we were, we competed, and
Yeah,
Prince George still has lots of guys that are very very
they're still
skilled
good.
that weren't on out at NHL camps or anything too that
Yeah,
played. I was really impressed with our compete level for both of these games.
yeah. Me too.
I thought that's definitely something that we should be happy about.
Yeah, agreed.
Um so I guess we could kind of recap the first game a little bit. Chiefs got it started early with that backhander from Ekstrom. Uh I felt like we really controlled the offensive play in the first probably 5 minutes or so of that first period. And then once Prince George got those two back-to-back goals in like 90 seconds, um, I kind of thought that, I wouldn't say that we shut down, but I think that I'm sure that especially in the veterans in the back of their minds, it's thinking like, oh man, it's the same shit that it has been. And they're trying not to hang their heads on it and
Yeah,
everything too. But I feel like the rookies, the 16, 17s really stepped up, and that's when Pyatt scored his first career goal to tie it at 2. And then it was pretty much just an even game, completely stalemate from their goaltending battle until late in the third period when Prince George kind of scored on that little squeaker from the right hand side that snuck through Michaeliuk. And um thankfully, Cohen Harris decided that he was going to get his first career goal shortly after that too to tie it up again. And then, um, I mean, overall, it was a really, really, really even game. And
it was a good game.
I thought that I definitely wasn't expecting it us to compete as well as we did just based off of how things had been the last couple of years, but it's completely different. It's fresh.
Yeah,
Like it just
that's a good
feels
description.
it's just refreshing to see these guys kind of actually competing and like not looking like that they know they're going to lose,
Right.
you know? And Prince George is obviously a good team. They're missing some guys too, but at the same time, so are we. We were missing five of our NHL drafted
Exactly.
players and guys at training camps and stuff. So um obviously not we don't have didn't have Berkeley Catton or Will McIsaac, Nathan Mays, Weinstein, or Dawson Cowan. So and then I mean I didn't realize it until day of, but I guess we lost a couple of guys to injury in the last
Yeah.
preseason game too. Brody Gillespie and Owen Martin. There, as I haven't checked the newest weekly report to see if their status had changed, but Boyle said on the radio that they were both out week to week, but I didn't see if they posted anything for the. It doesn't look like they
That
did.
usually comes out today, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it usually comes out Mondays or Tuesdays. I
Yeah.
but I am not seeing one because they put out the first one on Friday because that's or Thursday because the season started Friday. But
Yeah.
yeah, according to this, they're both out week to week. Brody Gillespie's got an upper body injury and Owen Martin's got a lower body injury. And uh, Boyle was saying on the pregame on Saturday that Pyatt was in a boot too, so that's not really a good sign either. So hopefully it's nothing too serious, but it would
Was
be
his
nice
on a
to get
block
those.
shot? Is that what that was? I can't remember.
No, it was a little bit fluky from what I remember. Like the camera angle didn't get all of it, but I think he got like kind of shoved down into the boards awkwardly and it's kind of jammed up his ankle.
Uh,
And he was putting a little bit of weight on it, but it wasn't a lot, and he had to really kind of support it and was favoring that one side pretty hard. So um hopefully it's nothing too serious, but I guess we'll probably kind of get a look at if he's skating during like the player introductions on Saturday too.
yeah.
Um,
That
but man, I mean, first game, getting that comeback in the last couple minutes of the third period and
was
then
exciting.
winning it in overtime. How exciting is that overtime though? Like we were
Yeah.
talking about Mathis Preston's speed, just kind of creating all those opportunities and stuff. And then Owen Shetler crashed to the net and just hitting a little knuckleball right over
Yeah.
the goalie and
Yeah.
went in. So that was it was a really good start to the season, first of all, for the first game. And then second game, I thought we played well. I thought we competed. Um, Prince George kind of looked like they took their game up a little bit, a step up from the night prior. But they outshot us pretty bad, 37-24. We had 8 shots in each of the 3 periods. And so we got outshot pretty bad both. But the other thing that I really wanted to point out that I noticed specifically in game one, and it's stuff that I talked about with our preseason games too, our face-off percentage is
Yes. Big time.
skyrocketed. I
Yeah.
mean, just it's unbelievable. They're winning all the clutch face-offs that they need to win.
Yep.
And even in the second game, we lost the face-off battle, but it wasn't, a blowout one way. It was 33-30. So it's like
Yeah.
it's either split down the middle or we're taking it to another level. So that's a really good thing to see because it's the little things like that can really make or break a hockey game.
We've talked about that for years.
Mm-hmm.
Back
Well,
to
and,
the back to the Hudson Elling days when they would put him in this face-off circle.
yeah, no kidding. Well, and then the other thing that I noticed too is our discipline is really good.
Yeah.
Like we're very, very disciplined.
It seems different, doesn't it?
It really does. I was really impressed to see that because it's not stuff that we're used to seeing from these guys.
No, not at all.
And so that was really, really nice seeing. And that goes back to the moving your feet and stuff too. You're not going to take all these tripping and hooking penalties if you're moving your feet as
Yeah.
much as we had been. So if we can continue then that's huge.
Yeah.
That's really going to make a difference. And then how about the first fight of the season with Braden Crampton? I thought that was a little strange. I definitely didn't expect him to be the guy to drop the gloves first.
Like you said earlier about the 20-year-olds, a leadership role.
No, for sure. Yeah. And um that goes to show that they're ready to step up into that role.
Yeah.
So um I did see that we got Weinstein, McIsaac, Mays, and Cowan back
Yeah,
from
everybody but Catton.
their camps. So they should be available Friday in Wenatchee, and
Yep.
then obviously Saturday against Tri, the home opener. So,
Like
um,
first
I
figure game against Donnie Knock.
oh God, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. Um, but so it'll be nice to have those guys back. I think that in the first two games, like the rookie D man, I mean, we played both of our 15-year-olds
They look good.
that stuck with the roster. I thought Ozzie McIntyre looks like he could play like a
Yeah, he
full
does.
season. I mean, he's a small guy, but man, that dude is smart and he's
Yeah.
quick and he's gritty.
Yeah.
Those are three things that I think the Chiefs would really use, especially if they get this Memorial Cup bid
Yeah.
next year. I mean, huge. He set up the game tying goal with Cohen Harris on Friday
Yeah.
night. I mean,
Yeah.
he played great. He looks like he belongs out there. It's the same kind of thing that I noticed about Preston last year.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. I was really impressed with his game, and I thought Harry Mattern on the back end played really well too.
He did.
I mean, he got thrown into the fire with of three of our top defensemen out at NHL camps and stuff too, and he played a lot of minutes and he played well.
Yeah, he did.
And then I was really impressed with Rhett Sather, both of the games this weekend. I mean, he just looks confident out there, and you could definitely tell that he's more of a two-way defenseman that's a little bit leaning toward the offensive side because he's not afraid to carry the puck up and lead a rush either, but
No.
he's smart about it. He's not, overdoing it and trying to get all fancy and do all this stuff too. And yeah, he's 16, so he's trying to like, play by the system and kind of do all that stuff too. And he's not trying to do his own thing. But man, it was nice to see. It's nice to see us have some young defensemen that are willing to do stuff like that and kind of
Yeah.
step up into those big roles, even if it was his first WHL game.
Yeah. Just the team in itself just has a whole different look.
It really does. And I'm curious to see how our back end looks with those three guys coming back
Yeah.
this weekend too. Um, I'm really expecting big things from McIsaac and Mays this year.
Yeah.
I think between getting drafted and just kind of like obviously that's a confidence boost in itself, but then going to the camp and going to the main camp and I
Yeah.
don't think any of them played in any preseason games, but they went to like the training camp portion of it too, and with all the main guys, I'm sure they learned a ton.
Oh, yeah.
So I I was really happy to see that all five of our guys made the main roster camps too
Yeah. That
for
was
those guys.
impressive.
So I think that's really going to benefit not just them but the team down the road too.
Yeah.
Um, and then so yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how our defense looks, and I'm sure Cowan will start at
I
least
would
one
think
of the
so.
two games this weekend. Um, so I'm curious to see how he ends up playing too, and then who knows when we'll get Catton back. I hope. I mean, he did you watch any of that first
I
preseason
didn't.
Kraken game? He looked
I did.
good.
Did he?
He looked really good, and Eddie Olczyk and Forsland had so many good things to say about how he was playing, and they did like a little feature on him during the second intermission where they were talking about like when he was drafted and how the Chiefs held like their draft party and stuff, and how everybody was like so stoked. And Catton said he's stoked to get back and play the season in Spokane and stuff too. So I think
Nice.
I mean he put up 54 freaking goals last year. So what the
Yeah.
hell is he going to do this year? I mean, yeah, he's going to go off to World Juniors. He's absolutely making Team Canada's roster this year.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no doubt
Without
about
that.
that. But how many what's he going to do this year? Does he put up another 50 goal season?
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely possible.
Yeah. I do too.
Especially with all this experience that he's getting at the Kraken camp and
Oh,
playing all
yeah.
these preseason games. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I can't remember who he was playing a line with, but it was another rookie and another veteran. But like, there's a couple times that he's out there leading the rush, and they had him on the power play, and so it goes to show that those guys have a lot of like what's the word I'm looking for, confidence in him.
Hmm.
I mean, it was really cool to see, and it's cool listening to Eddie Olczyk and Forsland talk so highly of him too. And
Yeah.
everybody's pretty stoked to have him with the Kraken. So I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be an absolute star in a couple of years.
I hope so.
I do too. Kid deserves it.
Yeah.
Kid works his tail off.
Yes, he
Um,
does.
and then God, what else was I going to talk? Want to talk about? Oh, the Chiefs officially put their bid in for the Memorial Cup.
Oh, did they?
They officially put it in yesterday, along with the five other teams:
Nice.
Brandon, Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, and Kelowna. So, fingers crossed, hoping we get it. I mean, I think we got the talent, and like I said, I talked about in previous episodes, we got the facilities and we got the hotels and we got all that
Yeah.
stuff down by the arena that's set, and we got the skilled guys with Mathis Preston, Catton, Ozzie McIntyre, all those guys. Carter Essler's going to be a stud, and I haven't talked about him yet, but I thought Caden Allen looked really good.
Yes.
So and I think in a couple of years' time, like even next year, potential Memorial Cup bid, it's like that's going to be a guy that's really going to step up, and I think he's got the potential to be a top D man in the league too. Him and Rhett Sather. Like I said, I really liked what I saw from Sather in camp, and then preseason and the first couple of games. I mean, the kid's gonna be a star too, I think. So we'll have to wait and see kind of how it all pans out, but really hoping that the Chiefs end up getting that Memorial Cup bid.
That would be awesome.
I I, I would love to go. I would love to go to see a Memorial Cup, and even if they're in Kelowna, I'm going. I'm telling you, I'm going. And that's a 4.5 hour drive. I'll make it.
There you go.
But so the Chiefs' next game is Friday in Wenatchee. I'm sure that's their home opener too, and then
Probably.
back here Saturday for our home opener, and then the two games at home the following weekend, and then we go out on our Eastern trip already.
And that we were talking about that the other day, how unusual it is to make the Eastern trip that early in the season.
But the question is it going to be beneficial? I think it's going to be beneficial
Yes.
for us because in the last few years we made it either like right after Christmas break or like late in the season. I feel like that trip really kind of bonds. Like
It does.
you're on the bus for so long with these guys that like it's like a team bonding, but it's like all the time for like a week and a half. Like
Yeah.
10 days they're out traveling and um doing all this stuff together. I see, in previous years, guys would go play on like outdoor rinks and stuff too, and practice at
Hmm.
outdoor rinks and do all this stuff. And players obviously have like, they go back to like their hometowns and they have their families come to the games. And
Hmm.
I mean, that's huge for them. And usually our track record with those Eastern swings are pretty good.
Pretty, and we end up a better team after that whenever they happen
A
to happen
hundred
too.
percent,
Yeah.
and that's why I think having it as early as we are this year is going to be huge for the team for the rest of the season.
Yeah. I think you're right.
So obviously we'll have to wait and see. I know we're going to be playing a lot of highly skilled teams. I mean, some of those teams over in the East this year are going to be pretty
Yes.
scary. Medicine Hat's going to be insane, and Brandon's going to be pretty good too, I think. So um, I can't remember who is it a Central trip this year or is it an East trip? Because I don't remember what it was last year.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember, but I mean, there's a lot of talent in the Central and in the East, so we'll have to. Either way, we're going to get to see some at the Spokane Arena this year too,
Yeah.
so that'll be nice. And can't wait till we play Everett to see Landon Dupont play too.
Right.
That's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Yes, it is.
He got his first point in his first game the other night too.
Did
So
he?
yeah,
Yeah. We'll get to
so
see them several times. That'll be awesome.
I think the U.S. division is going to be fun this year too.
It's always is, man. It's always competitive.
Like I've said, always it's the best division in the league by far.
I, I think so too.
I mean, I think it's the most. Everybody's always pretty consistent, give or take a team or two.
Yes.
Like, and you, typically the team has been us and Tri
Yeah.
Cities for the last few years. So I'm hoping that we've kind of turned the corner on that with the new coaching staff and everything too. And like I said last week, it's like you can really kind of see Bardsley's plan slowly starting to come together right around the
Hmm.
time frame that he panned out for it. So
Yeah.
um really exciting stuff going on right now. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm looking forward to the weekend. Got to get through the next 3 or 4 days of work and watch some more Chiefs hockey.
We can do it. We can make it.
I think so too. So what are your predictions for this weekend?
Um, I'm gonna say a couple of victories.
I like it. I think so too. I think the veterans that are coming back from camp are going to be excited to get back,
Yeah,
and they're really going to have play with a different level of competitiveness and energy. I think I'm gonna predict a 6-3 win on Friday in Wenatchee, and then
I'm going 4-2.
I'm gonna predict 4-1 Saturday against Try at home.
I'm going to predict 4-2 on Friday, and I'm going to go 3-0 on shutout against Try.
I like the way you think. Who's in net? That's the question.
Cowan on Friday, Michael Luck on Saturday.
You think so?
Yep,
That's the other thing that we should talk about a little bit. It's with our goaltending situation.
it's not a bad problem to have.
It's not. We got two veteran goalies that know the league, they know the team, they know how it all works, and then you got a 16-year-old stud coming in too. It's like, are we going to carry three goalies for the entire season though?
I don't know.
Because not a lot of teams do that.
No, they don't. But
So is it is
but
it is it a situation where, I mean, let's just say hypothetically one of the guys gets traded. Do we have another goalie down that we can call up in his place if need be?
right.
And as like another goalie. I mean, we've seen that before with I mean, I remember Campbell Arnold played a couple games as a 15-year-old goaltender
Yep.
for us.
Yep.
Because like, what was his name? Sittler was out, Wetherill
Yep.
was out. Um it's I don't really know if we have like a goalie in the system that we be confident enough to bring up
You just
for
go out and
that.
find yourself a Bailey Birkin.
That's true, and I know that's a lot of things that other teams do. Like Tri City did that last year when Mateka went off to World Juniors. They got that
Yep.
Kyle Kelsey who actually just got placed on waivers today.
Did he?
So yeah, our goaltending situation is a little bit interesting, but I think that however it works out, it's going to benefit the team
I
too.
agree. Like I said, it's not a bad situation to be in.
Yeah, I think all three of the guys have the capabilities of. I mean, I think I don't know if Essler has the capability of being a starter yet as a 16, but I think that Cowan and Michael are both proven to be
Yes.
starters. And Essler, I think it's his time to kind of learn from these guys
Mm-hmm.
and kind of be prepared to become the goalie of the future because he, quite frankly, he is the goalie of the future. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, a lot of fun stuff going on in Spoke Vegas,
Spokehampton.
Spokompton. So I guess we'll wrap this one up and I'll get this uploaded before I got to go to bed here soon and get ready for work tomorrow. So um, kind of recap things next week and see how the weekend went.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for doing it.
All right. You too. Go Chiefs,
Go,
go.
go Chiefs go.